Tyrants don't rise alone. They don't take power, they are given power. Often people hand it over willingly, not out of stupidity, but out of fear, desperation, or even hope. In times of crisis, war, economic collapse, social chaos, people crave stability. They want someone who promises answers, action, and control. And the more dramatic the crisis, the more extreme the leader they're willing to accept. Hitler rose to power after Germany's humiliating defeat in World War I. Stalin emerged after the Russian Revolution. Kim Il-sung became leader after the trauma of war and occupation. Each promised strength, each delivered control. But tyranny doesn't always start with brutality. It starts with trust. And slowly that trust is twisted into obedience. In 1961, psychologist Stanley Milgram set up a famous experiment. Volunteers were told to administer electric shocks to a stranger in another room. Every time the person gave a wrong answer, the shock level increased. The stranger screamed, begged, fell silent. The real twist? There were no actual shocks. The person in the other room was an actor, but the volunteer didn't know that. A man in a white lab coat calmly instructed, "The experiment must continue." And the result? 65% of people gave the maximum voltage enough to kill someone just because they were told to. Why? Because the authority figure told them it was okay. That simple force obedience is what tyrants depend on. Not everyone needs to believe. They just need to obey. Another experiment by Solomon Asch showed how people conform to the group, even when the group is wrong. Participants were asked to compare line lengths. The answer was obvious, but actors in the room deliberately gave the wrong answer. And the real participants? Most of them changed their answer to match the group, even though they knew it was wrong. This is the power of social pressure. People fear standing out. They fear being wrong, or worse, being punished. Tyrants use this fear not just to punish rebels, but to isolate them. The more silent the group, the stronger the leader appears. Tyrants don't just take control, they shape perception. They flood media with symbols, speeches, and powerful images. They erase doubt through repetition. In North Korea, every child sees posters of Kim Jong-un. In Nazi Germany, propaganda films showed Hitler as a heroic father figure. In Stalin's USSR, history books were rewritten. Critics vanished from photos. Control the image, control the mind. People start to believe, or at least they stop questioning. And soon, reality itself becomes whatever the leader says it is. Tyrants don't need everyone to love them. They just need people to be afraid of speaking out. Surveillance, secret police, informants, disappearances, all create a chilling effect. In East Germany, neighbors reported on each other. In Saddam Hussein's Iraq, even a joke could cost your life. When fear becomes normal, people stop talking. And silence becomes the greatest ally of power. Many people who follow tyrants don't feel forced. They feel like they've made a rational choice. Tyrants promise jobs, pride, tradition, protection from enemies. They offer a vision, even if it's based on lies. And for someone struggling with fear, poverty, or shame, a clear, powerful voice can feel like hope. They aren't choosing evil. They're choosing what feels like survival. In every society under tyranny, there comes a moment, a fork in the road. Will people keep obeying? Or will they begin to question? It's rarely dramatic. It might be a conversation, a protest, a refusal to lie. These small acts are where resistance begins. But without that moment of choice, the machine keeps rolling. Most people aren't cruel. They're quiet, passive, cautious, but passivity helps power grow. When no one speaks up, tyrants feel invincible. The silence of the many enables the cruelty of the few. Psychology calls this the bystander effect. When everyone assumes someone else will act, but no one does. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Tyrants rise in different forms, in different countries, with different flags. But the pattern stays the same. Crisis, fear, a promise, A strong leader. Silence. Control. The more we study human psychology and history, the more we see the signs. The past warns us, if we're willing to listen. Tyrants don't just take power, we give it to them. With our silence, our fear, our blind trust. But it doesn't have to be that way. Understanding why people follow tyrants doesn't just explain the past, it protects the future. It reminds us to stay curious, to question power, to speak even when it feels risky. So, if you want more deep dives into history, psychology, and the science of human behavior, subscribe. Stay informed, stay thoughtful, stay human.